Hi, everybody. It's me, LisaT, coming at you with some positive orchid energy. Reading The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beattie. I'm in a goofy mood. I just got some really good news, and the good news came after I faced an immense fear that's related to tons of trauma. So I'm really proud of myself, and now I just went into goofy mode after like an intense 3 hours of like 2 hours. Okay, anyways, we are reading December 5th in The Language of Letting Go. December 5th, Difficult People. Coming at you with some positive energy. Definitely positive today. Okay, difficult people. Difficult people are our gift. I'll tell you that. I learned that big time 6 years ago in my first RMT working experience. There was one person that I was like, oh, I wonder if they don't like me and they're difficult to be around. They ended up being like a best friend. And then recently in the last like 3 years, there was another co-worker, and I was like coming home challenged all the time, and ended up us being like super connected for a temporary period of time. But the most challenging people, I found that when I face what's coming up around them, that they end up being a gift for me and a healing mechanism. So few things can make us feel crazier than expecting something from someone who has nothing to give. Well, I spoke about this in the last video, I think the last video, regarding my father. He just didn't have it. He didn't have that thing to give me that I was so desperately like seeking from him. He didn't have it. Incapable in those moments because he was dealing with all of his own stuff. So when we might find someone difficult if we're grasping to get something from them that they don't have the ability to give. That sure is going to feel difficult and make us crazy. So the lesson is they're a teacher to show you what you can give to yourself. So few things can make us feel crazier than expecting something from someone who has nothing to give. Few things can frustrate us more than trying to make a person someone he or she isn't, trying to make them someone they're not. I remember talking to a good friend in the last 4 years, I think it was like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and her saying like, Lisa, people don't think like that. And I was like, what do you mean they don't think like that? Like, because I thought like that. So I had this belief that everybody like experiences what I experience, and that's not true. I mean, I would make myself crazy thank God people don't think like me at some times, because boy, that's a dangerous zone in that thinking zone. Okay, so a few things can frustrate us more than trying to make a person someone he or she isn't. We feel crazy when we try to pretend that a person is someone he or she isn't. It will make us crazy. I'm trying to make them into something that they're not. We may have spent years negotiating like the reality is they're this way. And you're like, but if they would just do this, or if they could just feel this, or if they would just see this, and we're negotiating with reality, because reality is they're not seeing that, they're not feeling that, they're not seeing that. Like, it's not reality. That's not who they are. So may have spent years negotiating with reality concerning particular people from our past and our present. Even like thinking back of an old scene and to yourself saying, why didn't she say this? Or why didn't she do that? Because she didn't, because that wasn't in her to do. And me thinking that was the right, me thinking that she should have done this and that would have made things better. That's me thinking I'm God and controlling the situation. We from our past and our present, we may have spent years trying to get someone to love us in a certain way when that person cannot or will not. They just won't. So find it in yourself. It is time to let it go. Just let it go. And what that is acceptance. Accept things the way they are. Accept things the way they were. Accept things the way they are going, It is time to let him or her go. Let them out of your grasp, holding them onto this memory grasp. But if they just would have done this, then I would be okay now. Like, no, that's not true. You don't know that to be true. Question that. Like, question these thoughts. I've talked about that in recent videos. Like, question it. Is that the truth? Can I absolutely know that to be truth? If they would have done this, then things would be different now. No, you can't know that. So let it go. Accept it as it was. It was all for your higher good. I promise. And I never make promises I can't keep. I make few promises in this life, but I promise things were all leading you to where you are. They're all coming at you for good. It's all good. It's all for your higher good, for your learning, for your healing. So it's time to let it go. Accept it. It's time to let him or her go. That doesn't mean we can't love that person anymore. Loving attachment was in a few videos back. We still love, but we let them go. We detach from this string of control that we have on them. So that doesn't mean we can't love that person. It means that we will feel the immense relief that comes when we stop denying reality and begin what? Accepting. We release that person to be who he or she actually is. Let them be who they are. And then it gives you the permission and freedom to be who you are. We stop trying to make that person be someone he or she is not. We deal with our feelings and walk away from the destructive system. In our childhood, we couldn't walk away. We were trapped. We didn't have choices. We didn't have the ability to make decisions for ourselves, but we do now. We can remove ourselves. We can set boundaries. We can walk away. We can make a decision, a different choice. So we could deal with our feelings and walk away from the destructive system. We learn to love and care differently in a way that takes reality into account. We enter into a relationship with that person on new terms, taking ourselves and our needs into account. If a person is addicted to alcohol, other drugs, misery, people could be addicted to misery or complaining, or other people. If that person's addicted to all those things, alcohol, drugs, misery, or other people, we let go of his or her addiction and we take our hands off of it. It's not ours to control. It's not ours to walk through. It's theirs, and God will deal with it. We give his or her life back to them. And we, in the process, are given our life and our freedom to return, our return to us and our acceptance and our life and our needs and our wants and how we can show up for ourselves. We stop letting what we are not getting from that person control us. If we're like, oh, if they would just do this, if they would just, people, places, and things really dominated us before we do the recovery. They dominated us. They controlled how we feel about ourselves, how we feel in a situation, because we're like, oh, he did that, so now I'm crushed, or she did that, so now I can't feel this, or no, like that's giving them control of everything that's actually yours to be responsible for. So that in those moments when you're doing that, you're letting them control you. So we stop letting what we are not getting from that person control us, and we take responsibility for our life. We go ahead with the process of loving and taking care of ourselves. We decide how we want to interact with that person, taking reality and our own best interest into account. Reality is the big R word in that sentence. We get angry. We feel hurt, but we land in a place of forgiveness. Forgive them. Let it go. When you're meeting with someone who's been someone that is a difficult person, it says difficult people, right? When you're meeting with someone that's challenged you, that's challenged your mistaken beliefs, that's challenged your ability to care for yourself, that's challenged you in some way, see it as a gift. And then when you meet that person in this moment, the next time you see them in this moment. Don't see them with all this past you have attached to them. See them in this moment. Be present with them. Be present. Maybe a miracle has happened in their life and they're going to be completely different, but you'll miss it. You'll miss it if you're seeing through the eyes of their past and the hurts that they put on you when it's actually been a gift. So we can feel the anger. We've got to know how to do this in a healthy way. We feel the anger with, in a process with ourselves in a healthy way. We feel the hurt. We feel it. We accept that we feel that, but we don't let it control us. And we land in a place and we forgive others, for they know not what they do. The Bible says they know not what they do. Someone isn't intentionally hurting you. I mean, there is, even in situations that are really like radical, I could make a radical thought right now for you. Like even in a situation where someone picked up their hand and punched you in the face, they know not what they do. That person didn't mean to hurt you. They were so full of their own fear, anger, and rage that they were just reacting to their own experience, and it actually isn't personal to you. So we can forgive them. We set him or her free, and we become set free from bondage. We become set free from bondage to them. This is the heart of detaching in love. This is a bit tall order for this one, but good and freeing and amazing. And you get to learn that, I feel better when I forgive, and I feel better when I love myself, and I feel better when I'm mentally off of them and back onto me and my gratitude for my life and who I am. Here's your prayer for today. Today, I will work on detaching in love from troublesome people in my life. I will strive to accept reality in my relationships. I will give myself permission to take care of myself in my relationships with emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual freedom for both people as my goal. Amen. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Please hit the subscribe button. Join me on this journey. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know you like this video, and go on loving yourself and have a great day. Thank you. Love you all.